Hey everyone, I'm Samik Agarkar and welcome to Agarkar Media Academy. This is the 29th tutorial in Blender tutorial series for beginners. So in the last tutorial, what we saw was we were exactly here. This is exactly what we created. We created the first ever animation in this tutorial series. We basically had a cube revolving or rotating, basically rotating around with the camera panning up and the color of the cube changing with time. So this is what we did exactly in the last tutorial. And so in this tutorial we are going to move forward with some more animation techniques that we can use inside of Blender to animate different stuffs in Blender, right? So let's get first started. So basically what we are going to look at in this tutorial is shape keys. So shape key, last time in the objects, in some video, I don't remember the number, but in some video we saw while setting up multiple materials to the object, we saw how we can use the object data panel, which one is this one, where we use the vertex groups. So basically we in the edit mode, let's just do it again. Here we went to the edit mode, we just selected the vertices that we wanted to add in a particular group. We selected the vertices inside of edit mode and just created a new vertex group and called it whatever that we wanted. Let's say corner, right? Corner, right? And we then assigned it, and as soon as we assigned it, now if I deselect it and I just want to assign I just want to select the corner vertices, let's say, then I can just go here and tap select, and those two vertices that we assigned here would be selected, right? So this was the way to create multiple material. We did not actually create multiple materials using this, but we defined the set of vertices which would be included in different material settings, right? So that is exactly what we did in the vertex group. Now there is something else that we can also do, which is the shape keys. Just below that is the shape key. What is a shape key? Shape of the object, and key means what we have already seen, that we can key the object, right? We can just have some information, let's say selected, or let's say saved, that is called as key, and that key can be changed. So much of talking, let's just do what we wanted to do in this tutorial. So I have a cube here, I'm just going to subdivide it a few times to create some mesh. Let's say I'm subdividing it 10 times because this is what I like to have, right? So this is our mesh. It would just look as a cube. If I go here and do the subdivision surface modifier, then it would look completely different, entirely different. What I just wanted was to have some vertices to play with, right? So I just created this cube and I just subdivided it 10 times, right? So this is what you have right now. I'm just going to select all of them and just add a shape key. Of course, in the object mode, I'm just going to add a shape key. This is the basis shape key. What a basis is? Basis is a baseline. So this is the base relative to which, here you can see the relative is checked marked, to relative to which other shape keys would be defined, right? So this is the basis. So it is the base, it is the foundation of whatever that we're trying to do, and every other shape key other than the basis would be relative to that. So basically it's just a default, let's say, shape, right? Now we are going to go into the edit mode, right? And here we are just going to add, first of all we are just going to add one more shape key, right? Key one, and let's just call it a sphere, because what we're going to do is sphere, right? What we're going to do is we're just going to define a sphere right here, right? So this is our cube. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and tap F3. F3 is for searching of some different functionalities, right? F3, and I'm going to search to sphere. So this is the transform that we want to sphere. As soon as you select this and you just drag the mouse, here you can see that the to sphere, what to sphere function has been set to on, and we just need to set it, right? I'm just going to increase the mouse, just drag the mouse so that it becomes a sphere, and just tap it, and that is it, I think, right? And now what I'm going to do is just go to the uh, object mode again and just increase the value here, right here. So here you can see I have this cool looking animation. It's not animation right now, we're just changing the values. So the value ranges from 0 to 1. We can set the range of minimum range and maximum range here, but it's by default 0 to 1. So this is what we have right now, right? So at 0 it is cube, and what is cube? The basis shape, right? So the basis shape was cube, and now the sphere, because I have written, I can write anything here, right? And now when it's 1, it's completely transformed to that point, right? Now what I'm going to do is, again we are going to play with some animation. Let's just have let's say 24 frames by 2, so 2 seconds of an animation. So on the first frame we have already seen inserting keyframes, right? So these are the keys and we just want to insert a keyframe, right? So what we are going to do is, right here I'm just going to tap I is for insert keyframe. As soon as I tap I, and because my mouse was hovering over here on the shape value, sphere value, right, shape key value, so it inserted a keyframe for that, and now here you can see the keyframe being inserted, right? Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drag along to the last frame, that is the 48th frame, and now I'm just going to change it to 1. And now here you can see red because the value has been changed. Again I want an keyframe there, so by hovering the mouse over the value I, and as soon as I press I, again a keyframe has been inserted. Let's just play it. It's going to be very awesome of course. So this is how you can change the shapes of whatever objects that you make, and this is really cool, right? We can have as many different objects or shapes as we want. This is just one example, right? Let's say we don't want this, we want again 2 more seconds, and let's just have one more um, what we call it as a keyframe. Let's say when I'm here, let's say I'm just going to add one more keyframe, and I'm going to go to the object mode, and in object mode again, as soon as I inserted a keyframe and I went to the object mode, here you can see the cube is back. Why? Because the key 2 is at 0 and we have not decided and we have not selected, or we have not assigned it any shape, so it's taking the basis one, and the basis one was this shape, right, the cube. So that's why it's taking cube. So this is what it actually does. So let's try to create some randomized behavior right here, and here we had something called a randomized, I think. In the smooth, yes, here we had randomized, and I'm just going to grab it something like this. I don't know, I mean, yeah, it looks awesome. Or maybe let's have a sphere first. In the edit mode, F3, to sphere, it was selected, but yeah, okay, to sphere, and I'm just going to drag it up to here and then randomize it to some value, right? Something like this would be maybe awesome, maybe not, I'm not sure, but that's the way I want it to look, right? Let's insert a keyframe right here, I, and also at the last position, at the 96th position, we are just going to increase it till here and insert I, right? So this is how it looks like right now. So it changes to a sphere and then to a randomized object. Of course this shape key needs to be changed just right on the 49th value here, because this is what we don't want. We want it to be completely 0 and insert a keyframe right here, right? We just want to end it right there, or maybe not, and that's really, annoying, but yeah, you get the point. This is what we can do with the insert keyframe options. Maybe right here we want the sphere to be 0 again and insert a keyframe here, and that would do the job, right? So it changes to a sphere and then randomizes the shape, and this is really cool, right? We got what we wanted and this is it, right? So let's just give it some smooth shading because it's gonna look good. Let's just give it some shading, let's just give it some color, and what we're going to do is again go for some reddish color, yeah, maybe some dark red color, because that just might look good, yeah. And we're just going to increase the roughness, Just going to increase the roughness. I like rough parts. And I think that is it. This is it. And let's just add a plane, scale it up, and just drag it down so that we have something to look around with. And then we are just going to change the lamp to sun lamp. We are just going to go to the rendered view, rendered mode, sun lamp. It's too high. Let's go for 10 maybe. Yeah, 10 looks good right here. Let's just change the color to something yellowish because that's gonna look great. And of course this is not going to look good, so what we're going to do is just select this object and give it a subdivision surface modifier. And I think this would really look great. That's why I gave it a subdivision surface modifier. Yeah, it looks like something like crumbled paper, right? And it looks really great. And yeah, okay, I'm happy with whatever that we have got. Maybe we just want to change the position of the sun, the rotation of the sun. And we're just going to go for the tools right here in the view panel, lock camera to view, just dragging it right here so that we can look at the shadows also, or maybe just have it right here at the center like this. Save it up on my desktop because it's not really very important. Ball, let's say it's not really important, so I don't mind it saving in any way possible. And then I want to go to here. I don't want, yeah, ambient occlusion might help, bloom will help a lot. I'm just going to go through all these things in the next tutorial, so just make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell icon so that you can, in the next tutorial I'm going to teach you this all these things, right? So let's save it again. We have made some changes and just render it out. We are just now rendering one image, single image, but we can have an animation also. And this is what it is looking like, and it's looking great, I think. Let's just render out the animation if it works. And here you can see the animation being rendered out frame by frame. So it's going to take time. I'm not going to wait for this animation to be rendered out completely, and we're not going to spend too much time right here. But I think you got the point. I think you got what I wanted to tell you in this video. This is exactly what we wanted to do, and this is exactly what we did. So if I just go to overlays panel and I hide it everything, then it would be hidden. This is really great, right? And this is what is this? Is this a new option I'm seeing? X-ray. So this is exactly what we wanted to do in this tutorial exactly, and this is what we exactly did. So I hope you learned something new from this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Till then, keep smiling and keep learning.